What the fuck is going on? It appears I have acquired a side quest. So I had assumed as a child that Great Wolf Lodge was kind of just trippy for the hell of it. Turns out that's not the case. A couple of weeks ago, I looked up in my closet and I saw a wand. I promptly reached for it and it fell on my head. Then I remembered literally everything about my childhood. Not really. This is technically a video about MagiQuest. So, okay, I found a wand in my closet. You're probably wondering where the hell I'm going with this. And the answer is, it escalated. Because, like, surely, it's not like I can go back and, reclaim my lost memories or something. Unless the exact location I went to as a child is still Legacy. And I somehow had the wand I used as a child in my possession. This is a fucking Disney coincidence. What the hell is this? Kingdom Hearts?
Their hurting will be mended when you return to end it.
No, it won't, Mortimer. You're telling me I have to go outside for this shit? I'm a writer. I don't go outside. So, for those of you who are uninitiated, what is MagiQuest? Who put that dramatic music there? Whatever. So, magi, as a word, came from priests, actually. Specifically, early Iranian religions and Zoroastrianism. It later went on to mean a lot of other different things, but in general, it kept its more, let's say, priestly connotations in pop culture. So, we are not wizards. This isn't important, but I do find it interesting that they did choose the term magi. There's no real mention of, wizardry in the game as far as I'm aware. I just think that the word choice of magi is interesting. They could have chosen sorcerers, they could have chosen wizard, they could have chosen mage, but they chose magi, and I think that word choice just says something about the flavor and vibe that they were going for, so I'm mentioning it. The main gameplay loop of MagiQuest involved you collecting runes in order to go on adventures to do things like save the lead singer of Blackmore's Night from a goblin, I think, and fight a CGI dragon. They also had an MMO for a while, which I suppose makes sense. Nowadays, the game is in a different state than it obviously was back in 2007. Great Wolf Lodge made more content and pretty much butchered the original gameplay behind it. The original game is more or less gone, and while the name still lives, it's not the same thing. The game has been rebooted about twice now. The first reboot is 2.0, and then now there is Evergreen. But for all intents and purposes, those two are essentially completely different games with the same name. I don't really have a point to this video. There will be a part 2 about my experience when I actually head over to in a couple days, but I sort of wanted to make a prologue primer something or other. There is something really unique about this game and this, concept. To me, I don't think you really see stuff like this around much anymore. I'm Gen Z, so take this with a grain of salt, but I have noticed that as time goes on and third spaces start to die, real life gets a lot less gimmicky, I suppose. You see this with stuff like the death of Frutiger Arrow and even the way that fast food chains kind of modernize themselves. There is a lot less room for whimsy in real life than there was 10 years ago, even. And a lot of places are focused on being used for buying and selling. It's very, very hard to just exist outside now and find a place to do that. And I'm not saying that the modernization and corporatization of going outside is the reason MagiQuest died, and I'm not even really saying that it wasn't a money sink in and of itself, but I can't help but think about the two in tandem. And I can't help but be a little bit angry at myself that I feel almost a little bit embarrassed at the thought of me playing this game in public at the age of 21. I have always been very attached to fantasy, specifically older fantasy. I like strange worlds. I like fantasies that are bizarre and weird and earnest and kind of emotional. So when I see something like MagiQuest, I can't help but find a kindred spirit within it, in a sense. I'm being dramatic, but I love the strange, and I love niche things too. So I think it's worth going back. I am perhaps later to the party than I could have ever imagined, but I would like to see it. The game deserved better. It really did. And, it's one of those strange pieces of fantasy from my childhood that I think I owe a bit more to than I remember. I didn't want to make this video about my autism, but I did lose some skills. I know people debate on whether or not autistic skill regression is a thing, but there are things that I could do as a child that I can no longer do now as an autistic adult, and that's my lived reality. I can barely remember this game, if at all, but I know it gave me comfort when I was really small, and for that, if my childhood Great Wolf Lodge is still standing and I have my wand, then I'm going to go back and see it. And I'll probably be a little weirdo about it, but you guys will get a part 2, and I'll probably end up talking more about being autistic, because for some reason I just cannot shut up about being autistic and how that relates to literally everything I've lived in my entire life. So, yeah, I will catch you guys later. Bye!
Guide your way back home. Then somewhere in your memory